Okay, man. Today we are gonna be talking about Antoine Semenyo. Yo, listen, man. This is a player who has been on fire so far at the early start of the season for AFC Bournemouth. Definitely a player that was in demand. In the summer, I did see quite a lot of teams, quite a lot of the big teams. So the Arsenal, the Liverpool, Manchester United, Spurs, Villa. I think they all had a little look at him. Potentially could have had some interest from Europe as well, but yeah, I think looking at someone like Semenyo, like he again, it's always testament to these kind of players, man. Like they seem to just take their game to like another level, and I think that's always key and important, right? I spoke about Ekatike at the beginning of the season. I've spoken about Voltamade as well. Obviously, moving to Newcastle now. Ekatike, obviously, he's been good since joining Liverpool. So listen, some players it's just like a duck to water, kind of thing. It's just seamless for them to be able to just kind of transition in, and it shouldn't be too much of an issue. Obviously, depending on the kind of team that you join in, etc. But I do think that there are some players, quite a lot actually, to be fair, who I've just kind of felt to myself, maybe now's not the right time to move. Maybe you need another season at the team that you're at to almost cement who you are as a football player. And then I think, it's the right kind of thing, for you to move. Because, oh, listen, look, moving anyway is always going to be a big thing. We've seen it already with some players so far not really hitting the ground running, players that you probably expect to be able to hit the ground running instantly. And some players just haven't really done that. Some players can do it just like that. Mbappe moves to Real Madrid, no matter what you want to say, still bags 40 goals in a season. Do you get what I'm saying? Like Haaland, 50 goals in a season, and some other player, Van Dijk joining Liverpool, instant, boom, straight away, he was the guy. We've just seen it with so many various different kind of players, right, throughout history. But I do think that it does help when you are in a situation where you can still feel comfortable doing what you're doing. And then when it's the right time, bang. And I feel like with Semenyo, especially him signing that new deal, and I don't know if it's got a release clause or anything like that, but him signing that new deal for me is vitally important because I feel at least this way he can still be like right now you can see he's the main guy for Bournemouth. You know what I mean? He's the one with you can see with the heat map, he's the one with the most freedom. He's kind of got, the most responsibility in those attacking areas. He's the one that they look to. You know what I mean? He's the Saka, he's the Salah, he's the Lamine Yamal, he's the guy in the team that you look at and say, "Now we need him to do something today in order for us to stand a good stead in terms of trying to win the game and etc." And he's done that so far this season. Now, whether he continues that, obviously, it just remains to be seen. And if he does, then Bournemouth are going to have a great season finishing in Europe. I have no doubt about that. And the job kind of Iraola's done there, brilliant. He's been one of the best managers in the Premier League since stepping in there. Easily one of the best managers. Easily. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, and I'm including all these other top managers who have been around. He is one of the best in the Premier League at this current moment in time. And Bournemouth have been one of the better playing teams. And now it just seems like they're just, early part of the season, good form, couple good games here and there. Only lost, I believe, what is it, one game this season, currently sitting in sixth position. Now, of course, it's only game week 6. Do I expect them to finish there? No, but listen, anything can happen. It's just like with Crystal Palace or Sunderland. You're like, we have no idea what could happen between now and the end of the season. And what I do know is that it's always good to get points on the board early for teams like this. I've always said it. Teams like this got to get points on the board, got to do everything you possibly can to win as many points early as you can, because potentially later on in the season, unless you're just going to have like a really blinder of a season. But if it's going to be one of those seasons where you may fall back into, some old habits, it's going to be brilliant for you to, be able to get yourself there and ready, to be able to push forward. And I think Semenyo is going to be absolutely vital and key for Bournemouth, this season, man. And like I say, man, you can see with his form. Look, 2 goals in the opening day, then got an assist in the next game, blanked the third game, but Bournemouth ended up winning that anyway against Tottenham away. Got himself a goal and an assist in the game against Brighton, blanked in the next game, then gets another assist, against Leeds United. A goal, should I say? Sorry, brilliant free kick. I completely forgot. Against Leeds United, and I just think that, like I said, he just looks a bit different. I did a video on him not too long ago, speaking about, whether he's ready to go into that Super Saiyan kind of mode. When you go into that mode and players go into that kind of form where it's like, okay, now we're good, we're ready. You know what I mean? We can start doing something now. You know what I mean? Now I'm serious about being this player, because I never know with players, right? No one knows. I guess that's the whole point. But you never really know with players, right? If they are just in this type of form and stuff like that, or is this now a part of their makeup? Do you know what I mean? Like, is this them now? Is this you? Like, for example, the best way I can probably explain it is you look at Manchester United, right? If Manchester United finish bottom half of the table again for 2 seasons in a row, that's what you are now. You are that team now. Do you know what I mean? It only really takes about 2 seasons to really kind of change the kind of trajectory, almost of a football club. But once you start entering into those kind of realms and you hit second season and now you've done it again, it's like, well, first time you could say it's a fluke, you can say it's just one of those. If you do it again, that's not one of those. Do you know what I mean? That can't now be chalked off to something else or to something different or etc. No, now that is you. That is now just a part of who you are as a club, as a player, all of these kind of things. So, we've seen it with other clubs, we've seen it with other players. Some players just enter into this kind of realm of just, being amazing and, etc., etc. Could this now be Semenyo's time in order for him to potentially get that big move, which I think he will. If he continues to perform the way that he kind of is, do you know what I mean? And I think, this season, again, starting off like a house on fire, getting himself 4 goals, 2 assists in 7 games. Brilliant. Absolutely brilliant, for Semenyo. These are the kind of positions that he's been playing. He can play left wing, he can play right wing. He's versatile. I know he can also play through the middle as well. So he's got that versatility that some teams just don't even have. So I know that some managers would love to have someone like that. Coming off the back of last season, scoring 13 goals, getting himself 7 assists, 20 GA in 42 games for a player who's playing at Bournemouth. That's got to be pretty decent. Do you know what I mean? That's got to be something, we've got to kind of look at. And when we're talking about his style of play, you can see it here. Semenyo's style of play, it's all about versatility and dynamism. A truly two-footed player. His ability to operate across multiple positions on the pitch gives his team tactical flexibility. Whether playing as a central striker, winger, or second striker, Semenyo adapts seamlessly to whatever role his manager assigns him. With 61% of his events using his right foot and 39% using his left foot, his ambidextrous ability makes him unpredictable to defenders. His dribbling and movement off the ball keep defenders guessing and provides constant pressure on opposition defensive. And I think that's quite key for a player, like Semenyo, is the fact that he can go on the left and finish. You know what I mean? If anyone's watched the video of him doing the striking drill, I think that was during pre-season. And he was just showing, not showing off, but he was just showing everybody that, he's doing training and stuff like that. He's just getting back into the lab and all that kind of stuff. We saw some of the finishes though, ridiculous. Left foot, right foot, curlers, powers, corners. Do you know what I mean? Top bins. Do you know what I mean? He's got it all in his locker. And I think you can see now, listen, it always takes time. Not every player is just Lamine Yamal from the age of, you know what I mean, or Lionel Messi or, any of these Wayne Rooney's, Michael Owens. You can't always be that. Do you know what I mean? Some players are going to take a little bit of time in order for them to be able to, to really develop as players. And also as well, it depends on the team. You need to find the right moment, the right manager. Everything almost has to kind of just align, for you. And you can tell, if I'm coming from Bristol City, you can just see that he's someone who's just worked and worked and worked. He's strong, he's powerful, brilliant runner. His goal against Liverpool should show people that. But just in general, we've seen, Semenyo anyway, just in terms of the way that he does play and the things that he does obviously do. This is, I believe, from last season, and you can just see, final third passes attempted, penalty area entries, chances created, 5 assists, 11 big chances created. Like, this is a really good player. This is a really, really good winger, and it'll be interesting to see what kind of club he would potentially go to. Now, obviously, we still got the rest of the season. We still got 32 games to still kind of dot through. So he's going to have his bad moments. He's going to have periods where you're going to be like, oh my God, Semenyo ain't scoring through. I mean, again, this is provided that he just goes through like a normal bad form. But listen, he may not. He may only ever go like a game or two without scoring or assisting for Bournemouth. And if that happens, then like I said, Bournemouth getting Europe. Definitely with that kind of form. If he's always scoring or assisting every other game or every 2 games at least, yeah, I think Bournemouth can easily get that. But again, they're looking towards him anyway this season to get those goals. And as I said, with the way that Iraola plays, with the fact that Iraola, has lost some key defenders, in their back line, during the summer, Kirkes, Zabini, Howson, and he's been able to just kind of, replace, plug and play with these guys. And it seems like they're just getting better and better. Now I'm thinking about it. Had they kept all those guys, I would tip Bournemouth to finish 5th. I would have tipped them to finish 5th. I couldn't really do that because I didn't know what the quality of the players coming in. And obviously this is all hindsight anyway. But watching them now, I'm like, imagine if they kept those players. I mean, these players went to PSG, Real Madrid, Liverpool, they went to the biggest clubs in the world. So they're doing something right. Do you know what I mean? Like they are doing something. And Bournemouth are doing something right. And Iraola is doing something right. And Semenyo is doing something right. So I'm happy for him, man. I'm happy for him. Like I said, I wasn't really too sure in him. Been at Bournemouth for a couple seasons now. And I thought, no, he's all right. Do you know what I mean? Like he just always felt like, yeah, he's okay. Do you know what I mean? Like he might give you trouble on some days, but overall, nah, not really the kind of guy that I would have wanted, to be honest with you. And even in the summer, I was still a little bit skeptical about, I don't really know about Semenyo. Is that really going to improve us? But listen, man, hindsight's a wonderful thing because you can look back at some of this stuff now and, hey, listen, I put my hands up, man. Right now, he's showing me, yo, G, you got it wrong. Maybe you should have, you know what I mean, give him this season. Maybe this was always going to be the season. But again, I was never to know that. Do you know what I mean? Like it's always going to be difficult with players exactly like this, like a Semenyo. So yeah, like I say, man, big up to him. Hopefully, long may it continue. I hope Bournemouth really do well this season. I would love for them to get like Champions League football or something. And I would love Semenyo to be the one who's kind of spearheading that. It would be interesting if they got Champions League football. Would he leave? You know what I mean? Like that would be so joke. Like, would he leave? You know what I mean? Bournemouth in the Champions League. Like, would it even be worth it to you? Do you know what I mean? Like, it's all these kind of questions, all these kind of things. We'd have to kind of wait and see. But listen, Semenyo been brilliant this season so far, and I think he's definitely going to be a player to watch throughout the season, especially as I say, if Bournemouth are going to have a good season, he's going to be one of the main contributing factors, behind that. So make sure you stay locked in, make sure you stay tuned. Let me know your thoughts, obviously, on Semenyo, his start to the season. Do you also think that he's a player who's going to get that big move come the end of the season? Let me know, man. Let me know in the comment section. And I'll catch you guys soon, man. Peace.